with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good Thursday morning. It is NOWCAST time. I'm Mark Salday. A mid-morning check of some of the stories we are following at Erie News Now. And we begin with the latest developments in the ongoing investigation into the shooting death of a man whose body seemed to have been dumped on a local road. There is an arrest warrant out this morning for a named suspect in the case, and police have released the image of a woman who they're calling a person of interest in this case. Mill Creek police say they are searching for a 20-year-old by the name of Reginald Welsh in connection to that shooting from Tuesday night. It happened along Zimmerly Road, not too far from the intersection with Zook Road in Mill Creek. Police in Mill Creek also say they are on the hunt for a woman whose image was captured by a security camera. They say this woman was with that shooting victim in an SUV when that gunfire happened the other night. Cops are also still searching for that vehicle. The coroner has identified the victim, and this one is a 25-year-old Casey Nadolny. He's out of Titusville. Tip calls can go to Mill Creek Police. For the second time this week, a local murder trial ended with a not guilty verdict after jurors apparently believed it was self-defense. On Wednesday, an Erie County jury found 36-year-old Jonathan Outlaw not guilty of murder in the shooting death of 37-year-old Dwayne Buckner. Happened at an apartment along Liberty Street in Erie last October. According to a report in the Erie Times News, the defense claimed in court that Outlaw was afraid for his life that day. They say Buckner was intoxicated and had his pit bull dog with him. Outlaw's lawyer told the jury his client had what he called a deep fear of dogs. And again, he was acquitted. Earlier this week, a jury found 67-year-old Dolores White of Erie not guilty on a murder charge after she claimed self-defense in the fatal stabbing of her daughter's ex-boyfriend. Meantime, an Erie man who'd been on the run for more than 2 weeks, accused of gunning down several people at an Erie bar. Well, he started his Thursday in the Erie County Prison. A judge arraigned that 39-year-old suspect, Danny Nicholson, on 2 murder charges last night. Authorities arrested him Wednesday after they found him hiding out in a motel not too far from the bar where it all happened, out on East Lake Road in Lawrence Park. Nicholson wanted in connection with that double murder earlier this month at Bogey's Tavern out on Buffalo Road. After his arrest, a judge sent Nicholson to jail with no bond set. Now, the Erie School Board going to meet a little later on today, potentially voting on a plan to get their students back into class full time. Right now, middle and high schoolers in the Erie district are learning remotely, but there's a hybrid plan to mix in-person and remote learning that's scheduled to start early next month for city students. Elementary students in the city moved to that hybrid model in February. And today, the Erie School Board is set to both talk about and vote on a plan to get those students back into their classrooms full time. It comes just days after the Erie District learned that they'd be getting some $70 million from the federal government as part of the president's economic stimulus plan. Erie County's Northwestern School District moving to fully remote learning as of today. That's going to continue through at least next Monday, so a couple of days at home for the kids out in that part of Western Erie County. The Northwestern District saw 7 positive COVID cases within its middle and high school. Those 2 buildings set to get back to that hybrid learning model next Tuesday, March 30th. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for a lot of people in our area, with at least 3 mass vaccination clinics set to take place. Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner takes a closer look.
We've come a long way from the first dose to mass vaccination clinics. But will they become the new norm?
I do believe that you're going to see more consistent, larger vaccination clinics. And when I say larger, we're using the cutoff as 1,000 or more throughput being what we call a large clinic. That is a fairly heavy lift.
These clinics have popped up at different venues, from the Erie Insurance Arena to community centers. Local experts say the clinics do so well because they're run so efficiently.
They're really efficient kind of from start to finish, from advertising, from enrolling, from having the staff, even to direct traffic and escort people in and make sure they wait there 15 minutes after their shot. So I think the mass vaccination clinics are working really, really well. And so we should be encouraged by it, but also expect to see more, as they're doing such a great job right now.
Now the clinics are expanding to include churches to make sure everyone has a chance to get vaccinated. Second Baptist Church is holding a clinic vaccinating more than 100 City of Erie residents. Pastor Higginbottom says another benefit to these mass vaccination clinics being held here at churches or community centers is that people might feel more comfortable going to a place they're already familiar with.
They can come to their local church or their local community center. And so this provides access. And it also provides an opportunity for people to feel comfortable in a place that they know so well.
As more and more clinics keep popping up, experts say they hope this will achieve their goal to get to our next phase for vaccination. Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
All right, meteorologist Dave.
Quite gusty later tonight and then into your Friday morning. Right now, temperatures are into the 50s and lower 60s out there. You can see 61 right now in Erie. We've got middle and upper 50s in many other spots. You can check out your location on the map. Winds coming in from the south right now, just 5 to 10 miles per hour. They are fairly light today, and that's going to allow for the lake breeze to set on up. So that's going to keep temperatures a little bit cooler towards the lakeshore. Rain arrives mainly after 5 o'clock, but our weather impact index will keep it at a 1 for you today. High wind watch goes into effect really later on tonight and continues through early afternoon on Friday, because we are talking about those winds maybe gusting in excess of 50 up to 60 miles per hour. That could certainly take down trees, lead to power outages as well. And again, the winds really start to crank up later tonight. You can see in terms of any sort of active weather, yeah, we just got those high clouds. They're moving on in. By the time we get into the evening hours, some rain showers show up. There'll be on and off rain showers during the night. You can see they continue to move on in from the southwest. We're at 4 a.m. Friday, and we've got a few spots of heavier rain. And also keep in mind those winds will be quite strong. And as that colder air begins to move on in, yeah, we still have some lingering showers for the first part of the day, but the second part of the day, you'll notice it's a whole lot cooler out there as we're coming down into the 40s. We don't really have a whole lot of real cold weather in the forecast, but certainly chillier than what we've been dealing with. Your zone outlook for today, temperatures, you can see right along the lake shore, they will be held down just a bit as you get south of Route 20 and really south of 90. That's where we are expecting those temperatures to work their way into the 70s. You can see 70s into Crawford County, lower 70s for you today. And out there into Warren County, also into the 70s as well. But we'll talk about those colder temperatures, get you that weekend outlook coming up in a moment.
All right, thank you, David. Fans of NBC's primetime drama show This Is Us, well, they may have heard something fairly familiar during this week's episode. Take a listen.
I know you don't go to these things, but it's in your neck of the woods. Erie.
777 Lake Pleasant Road, Erie, PA.
Yeah, there it is, right on the fridge, 777 Lake Pleasant Road, that your local address mentioned during this past Tuesday's episode of This Is Us. Well, leaving no stone unturned, Erie News Now checked it out. Turns out there's no such place. 777 Lake Pleasant Road, that address doesn't exist. Writers of the show likely made it up. They do mention Erie now and then on that show This Is Us, which is based in Pittsburgh, so not really a huge stretch. We do know that the guy named Mike Nunez is actually Senior VP at NBC Universal. Just so happens he is from Erie, a graduate of Strong Vincent High School, so he may be having some influence perhaps on the writers, getting Erie mentioned in there once or twice over the past couple of years. It's always fun when we hear that. All right, meteorologist David Walters got that 7-day forecast. You talked about the cool down. When you got that downward pointing arrow, we know what's coming.
Yeah, temperatures coming on down as we get into your Friday. We'll actually start off. The reason why I got to put the arrow here is we start off in the 50s, but then by the afternoon, we're coming down into the 40s. So you have kind of a shift between your highs and lows. Your lower temperatures will occur later on in the day. We get into the weekend, a fair looking day on Saturday. Temperatures middle 50s. We're actually warming back up a little bit. Palm Sunday could get a little wet with some of those showers. Then colder air comes on in, but not overly frigid. 46 Monday, and then we're bouncing right back to that 60-degree mark as we start to wrap up the month of March.
30 minutes of news headed your way at noon on WSEE. We'll be back on the air for 2 hours starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow for Erie News Now Sunrise. And, of course, right back here on Facebook again at the same time tomorrow. We'll see you then.